A good photograph will prove to the viewer how little our eyes permit us to see. Leon Levinstein's photographs are raw, uncompromising, and deeply human. He never sentimentalized the lives of the people he photographed, nor did he judge them as he wandered through the city streets. For him, walking and photographing were inseparable acts, two parts of the same heartbeat. Most of his images were made in the neighborhoods he returned to, week after week, year after year for nearly 4 decades. The Lower East Side, Coney Island, Harlem, and Times Square. These were places where the dramas of life unfolded openly, right there in the streets, just as they did in the countries where he created some of his most remarkable work: Haiti, India, and Mexico. Wherever Levinstein photographed, it wasn't the urban landscape that mattered most to him. It was the human presence, the gestures, the glances, the stories written across faces. His spontaneous street portraits carry a striking emotional weight. They often reveal an unexpected intimacy, a quiet connection between photographer and subject that feels almost private. There is tenderness in his images, and moments of joy and humor. But the world he captured was often a hard one, filled with faces marked by struggle, by survival, and by a solitude Levinstein himself understood all too well. Leon Levinstein was born in Buckhannon, West Virginia, and raised in Baltimore, a city that quietly shaped his early fascination with art and design. At the Maryland Institute of Arts, he studied drawing, calligraphy, and design, later continuing his education at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. His first professional steps were in advertising, working as an assistant art director for the Hecht Furniture Company, before moving on to freelance graphic design. Those early years taught him the language of composition, a discipline that would later echo through every frame of his photography. In 1948, Levinstein entered the advanced workshops of Sid Grossman, a central figure in the Photo League, and, soon after, he studied painting with Evsa Model. These experiences marked a turning point. From that moment, his devotion to street photography became unstoppable. Quiet and observant, he wandered the streets of New York and the beaches of Coney Island, camera always close, searching for life as it truly was. He photographed people not as subjects, but as living presences, unposed, spontaneous, and deeply human. His way of shooting, often from the hip, always up close, gave his images a rare emotional honesty. By the early 1950s, Levinstein's work began to draw attention. His photographs appeared in U.S. Camera Annual and Popular Photography, where he won an international contest in 1952. 3 years later, Edward Steichen selected 2 of his images for The Family of Man, the legendary world-touring exhibition from the Museum of Modern Art that would be seen by millions. That same year, Levinstein held his only solo exhibition at Helen G's Limelight Gallery in New York. G called him one of the finest, non-professional photographers she had ever known. Though public fame remained elusive, his images spoke with a quiet power, filled with intensity, humanity, and fearless intimacy. In the late 1970s and 1980s, museums and collectors began to rediscover his work. The art dealer Harry Lunn helped preserve and share his photographs, ensuring his legacy would not fade. Leon Levinstein remained a private man, often overlooked, yet his vision was anything but small. Today, he stands among the most powerful voices in post-war American street photography. A man who saw the beauty, the truth, and the tenderness hidden in everyday life. He died in New York City in 1988, at the age of 78. Leon Levinstein had a genuine fascination with people, with strangers, with those who walked the streets unaware that, for a brief instant, they would become part of something eternal. His photographs capture everyday life in all its rawness and beauty, no matter the age, the color of the skin, or the weight of a wallet. His gaze embraced everyone. The ones rushing by, the ones who paused, the ones who seemed to wander without direction. His camera was pure curiosity, a way of seeing the world driven by the need to understand what most preferred to overlook. The poor, the needy, the drunk, the joyful, the broken, they all belong in his visual universe. Levinstein froze those fleeting moments that others barely noticed, turning them into fragments of memory. He had a sharp, almost surgical eye. His black and white portraits, direct, unadorned, hold a light that never fades. He played with shadows, with reflections, with angles. Every line had intention. In his images, you can feel the weight of the streets, the fatigue, the despair, but also the humor, the dignity, and the quiet strength that keep people going. Though best known for his scenes of New York, his curiosity pushed him further. In Haiti, India, and Mexico, he photographed with the same instinct, always searching for new ways to understand people. During his trip to India in 1978, for instance, he explored how humans relate to their own image, as if he wanted to grasp not just what is seen, but what it feels like to be seen. In many of his photographs, there is harshness, yes, but also a hidden tenderness. Levinstein seemed especially drawn to the quiet gestures between parents and children. His name appeared alongside greats like Robert Frank, Richard Avedon, and Diane Arbus. Yet Levinstein never sought the spotlight. He didn't work on commission, didn't chase trends, and never published a book of his own. His work was born from impulse, from the streets, from a deep and simple urge to look. He worked without a plan, but with a fierce sense of discipline. Each photograph was an exercise in precision, nothing extra, nothing missing. In his images, bodies seem sculpted by light, faces almost tangible. You can feel his closeness, sometimes so close it feels as though he might touch us. Yet never intrusive, always watching with respect, with humanity. Today, his photographs still breathe. They still speak to us. They remind us that greatness lives within the ordinary, that anonymous faces hold entire stories. Leon Levinstein didn't just photograph people. He taught us how to see them, how to truly see them. and perhaps, in doing so, how to see ourselves.